of April, state said it is monitoring quote-unquote a rise in human rights abuses in India. The very next day, America schooled Russia again on human rights. US President Joe Biden accused the Kremlin of orchestrating a genocide in Ukraine. Why don't I play out that soundbite for you first?
Your family budget, your ability to fill up your tank, none of it should hinge on whether a dictator declares war and commits genocide half a world away.
So this is the United States of America, all rich in its lecturing, a champion when it comes to pointing a finger at others. But what about what's happening on its own soil? Do you know what happened to a black man in America recently? He was shot in the head by a white police officer. The man died. This happened in the state of Michigan. The victim's name, Patrick Yhwh, he was all of 26. On the 4th of April, Patrick was in his car outside his house. A policeman pulled him over. Body cam footage shows Yhwh getting out of his car. The policeman asks him to get back in. Yhwh looks confused. He was originally from the Democratic Republic of Congo. So even after the officer asked him to get back into the car, the man continues to stand outside looking confused. Perhaps he did not understand what the police officer said. The policeman then asks, "Can you speak English?" "Yes," says Yhwh. He is asked to show his license, but Yhwh starts running from the policeman. The two wrestle on the ground. The white policeman gets out his taser gun. The two fight over it. The policeman asks Yhwh to let go of the taser. And at this point, the body cam goes off. But a person who was in the passenger seat of Yhwh's car continues filming what was happening. That video shows the white officer shooting Yhwh at the back of his head. Was it called for? The authorities have no answer. They say the officer concerned is being investigated. The lawyer who is representing Yhwh's family says the 26-year-old was shot when he was on the ground and facing away from the officer. In other words, the white police officer did not shoot the black man in self-defense. Now, honestly, one should not be surprised if this claim is proven in court. America is a land of police brutality. It is the land where George Floyd was killed, where Michael Brown was killed. Both were men of color, both were unarmed. This is Dante Wright. He was all of 20 when an American police officer shot him. What was Wright doing? He was driving with his girlfriend. Why did the police shoot him then? They say one officer mistook her gun for a taser. Again, America for you. Meet Breonna Taylor. She was 26 and asleep at home. 3 plainclothes police officers arrived at her apartment and said they wanted to search the place. Why? For drugs, they said. The story ends with Taylor being shot 8 times. Again, that's America for you. The same America that lectures the world on human rights. The same America where people like Taylor, like Yhwh, are killed every day by men and women in uniform. And yet, somehow, the White House thinks it has the license to go about schooling the world on human rights. Does the U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken know that between 2013 and 2021, American police killed over 9,000 people? 9,000 people. And we are not even counting, and we're not even accounting for the incidents post-May 2021. If killing innocent people is not human rights violation, what is? How about America tries to answer this question first before lecturing others? What about America trying to fix its own problems first? US President Joe Biden has not spoken a word yet about the murder of Yhwh. There has been no statement of condemnation from the White House, no words of solace for Yhwh's family. In fact, the black man's death is barely national news. People have been protesting the killing, demanding justice, but the federal authorities could not care less. Had this happened elsewhere, anywhere outside America, Washington would have cried human rights violations, demanded action, pressed for justice. But not for what's happening in America. They reserve this, it seems, only for other countries, for allies like India, that Washington likes to accuse of human rights violations during the 2+2 dialogues.
We're monitoring some recent concerning developments in India, including a rise in human rights abuses by some government, police, and prison officials.
This is what Blinken said some 2 days back. Now listen to India rebutting that claim.
People are entitled to have views about us, but we are also equally entitled to have views about their views and about the interests and the lobbies and the vote banks which drive that. Whenever there is a discussion, I can tell you that we will not be reticent about speaking about it.
That's American appeasement politics being called out in the open. It would not have come to that if Washington would have looked inwards before pointing the finger at others. If America would have addressed its own human rights issues before lecturing the world. We asked this yesterday and we will ask this again. What will it take for America to look within? We are now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.